Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this channel is called StillSibu. I'm Sibu and I am a young lady that lives in Manchester and is originally from South Africa. I do content about life in Manchester on this channel. I also am extremely passionate about nutrition and health and wellness, and so I incorporate some of that into this channel. So if you like any of that, stick around, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you subscribe, that would be really useful. On the previous video, I spoke about the things that would make me move back to South Africa. And on this video, I'm going to be talking about the things that would make me stay in Manchester and stay in the UK and not move back to South Africa. So this is the flip side of that video. When I think about the reasons why I moved to the UK, it's quite clear to me why I'm still living there. One is obviously the currency and the power of the pound compared to the rand. I think for now it makes sense for me to be there. I do think that at some point it might not be the only consideration that I'd have to make, but in terms of that, I think the salary wise, it makes sense for me to stay in Manchester and the UK. Secondly, it is the safety. Now, people speak a lot about the safety component of it, and living in South Africa or Africa can be really dangerous because of crime and things that happen. And I was raised in South Africa, so this is kind of like what I've grown up, the environment that I've grown up in. But I think that over the years, because of just the decline in the economy, things have gradually gotten worse, and it makes it really uncomfortable when you're sitting in the comfort of your own house and you hear things happening outside of your house, and your instinct is someone might be trying to get in and harm me. That is an uncomfortable feeling, and I think it makes it really difficult to live securely. And obviously you can get around it through living in a gated community, getting more security around, but again, it's just a risk that is there. And obviously the crime is not just limited to your household. Wherever you are, there is a certain element of just a lack of safety. Now, I will say some of it can be exaggerated, because I have friends who live here and are thriving and are living quite comfortable lives. So it's not a thing of like, you will die if you move back. No, it's not like that. But I think just because I've seen the other side of living in the UK and not having to think about my safety, it'll be very difficult for me to move back and let my guard down. Well, my guard will already be down, so I'll probably be at risk of like being robbed or something like that. And again, I want to emphasize that this is not fear-mongering. South Africa is a place that you can live and thrive, but there is a component of safety that is there, especially if you're raising kids and you just want your kids to be in a safe environment. The third thing, which is quite contrary to my previous video, is the weather. So I said in my previous video that I struggled a lot with mental health because of the lack of sunshine in winter, and I still hold that. That is very true. But I also equally do not like being in extreme heat. And where I am originally from, which is Durban, it's very humid. It is quite hot. And right now in South Africa, it's summer, really warm. And I just think that I don't thrive in this environment where it's just really humid. And obviously you can get AC and work around it, but I prefer cooler climate. And I think that the UK works really well for me because the climate is cooler. But again, it's a give or take, because with cooler weather comes a lack of sunshine. So yeah, it's something that would probably it would be a deciding factor basically, because yeah, I would rather not be in extreme heat all the time all the time, and mosquitoes and snakes and all of that stuff that comes with warmer temperatures. The other thing that would probably make me stay in the UK is the food. And a lot of South Africans would probably say like the food is the one thing they'd move back for. But for me, the food is more easily accessible in the UK. I have and live a plant-based lifestyle, and so the food that I eat is much easily accessible where I currently stay, which is Manchester. It's much cheaper as well. Like trying to buy falafels from a Pick and Pay or a Checkers is really expensive compared to a Tesco or an Asda or a Lidl. It just feels more expensive when like value for money wise. So I just think that like for the sustainability of the lifestyle that I live when it comes to food, I quite enjoy the food that is on offer in the UK. I have a bland palate and I enjoy the food. So yeah, I would probably decide to stay in the UK because of the food. Lastly, which there's probably a number of other things and you guys can mention them in the comments below, but lastly for me, I probably would stay because of the prospects. I am a health coach when I'm not doing my 9 to 5, and I quite enjoy the fact that the health and wellness space within Manchester and within the UK is booming. There is so much happening around health and wellness, and I think there's so much opportunity in that space. I'm a health coach. Check my details below if you want a consultation or you want to find out a bit more on that. I have also launched a fitness community with my friend, and we are establishing that in the background. And so I think right now the prospects of staying in Manchester make a bit more sense when it comes to that. Those are all my reasons. I would say the people that are in Manchester, because I've got a lovely sense of community. I want to hold on that, because the thing with living in Manchester, living in the UK, or living in any other country if you are part of the diaspora, is people change their minds all the time, and you could think that you have a very close-knit family and then someone decides that they're going to go wherever they decide to go. And so I never want to think about non-negotiables as the people, because the people will always be there. Like you can keep in contact with people wherever they are, and especially if you make meaningful friendships, wherever people are, you can always keep connected with them. But yeah, those are the things that I would probably say would make me stay in Manchester and in the UK and not move back to South Africa. Let me know below what yours are, and if you've had any consideration around this. And if you haven't watched my previous video, make sure to watch that, and also subscribe to this channel and share this video with someone who might find it useful. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.